Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 221, Superman Secret Identity. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's
Good.
going well. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're doing all right.
Doing fine.
Can you believe 221? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's numerically sound
Yeah.
and accurate.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Well, probably not so much accurate. We've done a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Halloween specials, Christmas specials, space specials.
Oh, space. You got that space.
So yeah, we're. It's not entirely.
Well, that's even more impressive. That's
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
my point. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
We probably got about closer to 250.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
What's wrong with us?
we're idiots.
Yeah.
We got nothing better to do
That's-
with our
yeah,
time or
that's-
lives.
It's obvious. Yeah. I would like to think that we're preserving a piece of history with our brilliant insights into the cultural phenomenons that we come across.
And provide accurate and sound reviews.
Oh yeah, lots of information, well thought out research.
Yep. Articulate opinions.
We're articulate as fuck.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Oh boy.
When the historians go through the internet, they find our show and the 220 some reviews that we've done of comics and review and movies. They will be astounded about how accurately we
Yeah.
grasped everything.
So we're like, it was worth it to read all of this information that was on the internet.
And they will listen to our Christmas episode and say, "Hey, 400 people died in the Holocaust."
At least.
At least.
I'm saying at least. Oh, man. Yeah, there couldn't be two dumber guys in charge of this thing that we do.
Yeah.
But hey, it's our thing.
Hey, no one else is going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We can't get a Brian John Mitchell and a Kurt Dins together to do this
Wouldn't
instead
that
of us.
would be so amazing.
Yeah.
It's like when you see, you're at the the supermarket, if you will, and you see clearly just a couple of dumb dullards, and they're walking around. It's a dude and a lady, and they have their spawn with them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they really shouldn't be the ones raising that kid, but who are we to step in? You know? This is our baby, and we're the poor unfortunate couple that have spawned it.
Yeah, but I think the main difference is that our baby here isn't going to go out and, rape a chick in high school.
Well, right.
Or, cause a lot of crimes in general, or just raise more dullards.
Right? Oh, that's probably true.
The family tree ends here. Yeah.
Oh, we're the last of... Oh, look at little Junior. He's the last of our bloodline. And he's out there talking about Superman, and he's making the most of his life.
He is not harming anyone.
No. Maybe mildly entertaining. He's like a street musician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A mime at worst.
Yeah. Yeah. We could have done worse. We did all right.
Yeah,
we did all right.
We are not that couple at Kroger.
No. Sweet. I was listening to this thing today about couples that decide if something horrible happens to the fella, if he puts it in his will that if he's in a vegetative state or even deceased, if he wants his sperm to be allowed to be used to impregnate his wife. And there's a lot of ladies that want to do that apparently. Like they keep it on ice just in case, and then, you know, I'm thinking like, why not just have the kids while he's alive, just in case?
Well, maybe, you know, he just doesn't have the time or the opportunity.
Well, that's true.
I mean, you've seen Idiocracy, right?
Oh, yeah, right,
I mean,
right.
We're basically describing the entire first 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just the successful smart couple, you know, they're too busy being successful and smart.
Exactly. I mean, I bet that's expensive, though, extracting, you know, sperm from a corpse and keeping it on ice and all that stuff.
I mean, it's not anything I want to... It's not a career path I'm looking forward to going down.
Yeah. To go down. Yeah, that wouldn't be a great job.
No. Yeah. Pretty much anything with corpses, I'm...
You're out.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that kind of work.
How about the guy that...
It's not a... I just want to say, it's not a thing where it's like, you know, like me and musicals.
Right.
You know, where it's like, if there's a musical on, I'm just like, fuck this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not that way about the whole
death
mortician thing.
Right.
It's more just like, there's probably better things I'm suited for.
It's like serving burgers. You don't
Right.
you don't want to do that either.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like if it came down to it and I lost my job tomorrow and the only two jobs I could get were at McDonald's or at
The
a
funeral
funeral
home.
home, I'll take the funeral home.
Yeah. Duh. Right.
You're right, yeah. The clientele, so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if like doing the makeup on corpses, like I could see that being a fun job for like kind of gothy girls who are into makeup. You know, they could do that.
My mom has done the hair of my mom is a hairstylist, and she has been hired occasionally to do the hair of a deceased person.
Wow.
Occasionally.
What does she think about that?
She said the very first time, you know, it was just super weird, and she like she put it off for a very long time, but like she would always get offers, and like her clientele are all elderly women,
Right.
basically. And so more than a few of her customers have died in the past,
Okay.
and they've always like they're loyal customers.
All right. Wow.
And-
Even after death.
Yeah.
Now that's good repeat business.
And then they will tell her that, you know, when I die, I want you to do my hair for my funeral. And she for a long time didn't do it, but she eventually broke down and did it.
Wow.
And she said it was weird, but it pays well.
Right.
And
Better than regular.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah. And she also said that honestly, they're it's the easiest job that she's ever done.
Right.
Because they're not moving around.
Right.
They're not like falling asleep in the middle of her, you know, like trying to cut hair or anything like that. You know, she can move the head any way she wants, and then, you know, get to wherever she wants without any fuss. And,
You don't even really have to worry about the back, probably.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to worry about like accidentally nicking an ear.
Oh,
or anything
yeah,
like that.
I mean, I guess you would still
A
try
little
not
bit.
to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's not gonna.
Right.
No one's gonna complain. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, doesn't she like to like, you know, like maybe gossip or chat or whatever when she's doing the hair though?
Sometimes.
So that would be missing. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Usually, like whenever I go over there, it's just the old lady that's talking, and she's
Okay.
just kind of
Wow. Okay.
responding.
So maybe it's like just awesome. Then.
Yeah, because you know, she has the TV on, she watches that, and I mean, she'll talk to the customers when they talk, but
Right.
you know, she doesn't actively pursue the conversation with them. You know?
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that she'd done that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think I'd want to work with corpses in any
Yeah.
format. I mean, maybe if someone's like, "Hey, we want you to hire you to draw a sketch portrait of Grandpappy, you know, so we can keep it." Like, all right, you know, take
Yeah,
a.
but you can just work from photos for that.
That's true. But there's nothing like working from life.
Well,
Like,
you're not.
It was still life, I guess. How did we get on this subject? I'm not quite sure.
Just about us being idiots.
Oh, yeah. It all comes
Just
back.
train rolled into that.
Right, yeah.
We can talk about this comic book we read.
We did read a comic book.
Yeah, it was Superman: Secret Identity. by Kurt Busiek and Stuart Immonen.
You know, other than relatives, you know, like wives or whatever of these people, I've never heard of anyone else with either of those last names.
Right.
Aren't those odd names?
I guess.
Do you know what origins there or anything?
No. Why would I?
I'm just curious. I mean, I know you're fans, at least of Immonen.
Yeah.
You know, I was curious, is he, like, where's he from?
I don't do that kind of research on people I'm fans of. I just look to see, well, what else has this guy drawn?
Well, I thought you might know where he's from. You know, like
Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a Candonesian name. That makes sense. Yeah, I just thought it was weird. Like, I don't know. Those names are both strange to me.
This is the worst thing ever.
No, I was honestly thinking about that. I was like, I've never heard of another Busiek or Immonen, like ever. I mean, other than like, you know, Stuart's wife.
Right.
But isn't that strange?
Why would we?
We could just talk about the stuff inside of the book.
Okay, yeah.
It was honestly perplexing me.
Write him a letter.
Maybe I will.
Right.
Or I'll just Wikipedia them, see where they're from.
There you go.
I don't want to bug them with stuff, something like that.
I'm sure, well, you know, as weird as I find it, maybe they would appreciate that kind of thing rather than answering, you know, hey, when are you going to draw the next X-Men book?
Yeah.
Or, you know, when's Astro City coming back? You know?
Right. When is that coming back?
I have no idea. And, honestly, if I wanted to know, I'd ask Joe Grunenwald first.
Yeah. I'll ask him. He might know their origins. He seems like the sort that would keep tabs on the creators' personal
Probably,
lives.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mean that to sound director. Usually the sort is kind of exclusively held for like demeaning, you know, adjective,
I
but
think it's fair.
no, I didn't mean it that way.
No, it's fair. Hey, Jojo. You are that sort. And I know he's listening because he's read this book.
Oh yeah. Does he listen to the ones that
I think so. When he does.
Okay.
If he does.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, he's a bad friend.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I did not know.
To both of us.
Really?
Yeah.
I see
He's
him.
not like either of us.
Yeah, I didn't think he liked me, but I figured he hung out with you more. Now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I wish Joe G was here.
Georgie's an asshole.
No. We should have had him here if he's read this book too.
We should have.
What were you thinking?
We also really, I mean, honestly, like, we're doing this almost last minute.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we didn't know 2 hours ago that we were doing this
Right,
tonight or not.
so,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Things have been weird. I don't know if I've talked about it yet or not, but we'll get into it later.
Yeah,
But for now, we'll talk about Secret Identity.
sort of. We probably
We'll
try to.
We'll try to. We'll dance around it a bunch. We'll maybe
struggle with
mention-
our own opinions.
Yeah, exactly. Contradict ourselves.
Yeah.
Get angry at nothing.
There'll be awkward silences, and then a shitty song, and then we'll let you go. That's the formula here.
Yep.
That's. I mean, do you see many other shows that have lasted this long? We found a successful formula, and we're sticking to it.
Well, we found a formula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's successful as far as keeping us
Oh yeah,
going.
for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had any investors pull out. No advertisers have, you know, shamed away. Right.
Alrighty. Secret Identity. I've talked about this book before. I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah, I think on here. Yeah.
So, there's no spoiler here then. I liked it.
Yeah. You liked it.
I did.
You liked it.
And, reading it again, I still liked it.
Yeah. How old is this thing?
2005? 2004? I am flipping through to the copyright. 2004.
Okay. So about 8 years.
Yeah. I'm sure
9
it was,
years.
Sure it was written and drawn long before then.
Yeah.
I'm sure it took a while to draw.
Yeah, these are 4 prestige format issues with no ads.
Yeah, that is
It's like 10
That
comics.
is, well, yeah, and also that is not a format that really exists anymore, is it?
I don't believe it does.
Yeah.
Well, occasionally, like, I think there was, like, maybe, like, the Sam Keith Lobo thing was kind of a prestige format.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely, though.
Very rare. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
interesting.
usually all just, like something like this would probably just be a graphic novel.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they would just wait and slap them all out together.
Right. Which, and then it probably wouldn't sell at all.
Like the Batman and the Black Mirror. Was that one of them?
No, that was a trade.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a collection.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the last run of the Detective Comics prior to the New 52.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, and then so as I mentioned last episode, that this book is out of print, and kind of hard to
Yeah.
find in individual issues.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there was a trade paperback at one point in time, but that is, like I said, no longer in print. But there is a new printing coming out.
Very soon, I believe.
Yeah, I think DC is actually going back and they're reprinting quite a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the Chuck Dixon, Marcos Martin, Batgirl Year One,
Yeah.
and I think even Robin Year. Well, it's packaged together. They're finally reprinting Batgirl and Robin Year One together as like a one big trade paperback.
That's cool.
And because I've never read Batgirl Year One and I can't find it anywhere, single issues or trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I know we've got some of the single issues at
I
Mavericks.
think you have like 3.
Yeah, I say we don't have all
like
of them.
like number 3, 6, and 8. Yeah.
Is there that many? I could.
I think it was a 9-issue series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that series. I haven't read it in... I mean, I read it as it came out monthly, and that's the last time I read it. So
Right.
if you ever want to pick it, I may or may not remember it more fondly than I really would.
I have the trade on pre-order from Amazon.
Sweet.
But that doesn't come out till like July.
Possible future pick?
Possible future pick. I do have the single issues of the Robin Year One.
I really like that one, too.
Yeah, I remember reading it and liking it. But yeah, so Secret Identity is one of those things that just sort of, like, I think it got like a lot of critical acclaim, but then yeah, it just fell out of the printing cycle, and it's one of those things that's just kind of hard to find occasionally.
Right.
And I'm not even entirely sure how I have all 4 issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I know I bought the first issue. You were going up to Toronto to TCAF,
Mm-hmm.
and Stuart Immonen was going to be a guest there, and I wanted you to get some stuff signed for me, because he is one of my favorite artists,
Right.
like of all times.
And you still don't know where he's from.
He's from Canada. I said that.
Well, I mean,
Where you went to.
This is like origins, though. I mean, like, let's see. Wow.
And so I wanted to get some stuff signed, and then like I gave you like a bunch of stuff, I think, and but like kind of really wanted this signed, but I didn't really have any issues.
Oh, okay.
And Mavericks just had the first issue for sale, and their back issues, and so I bought that and gave you that, and so my first issue was signed, but I didn't have 2 through 4. And then I think I wound up buying. I think I got it in a bundle somewhere.
Huh. Like
1
the
through
whole,
4.
like all of them.
Yeah, so I have 2 copies of issue 1.
One
And-
unsigned and one signed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm keeping the signed one.
Yeah.
And I'll be. It's in my to trade file, one of my pile.
Right.
Get
You
rid,
get rid
get
of-
rid of a bunch of stuff.
Sounds cool.
So yeah.
And he seemed like a nice guy. I met him and he signed it, and him and his wife were there, and they seemed like they seemed like really snappy dressed nerds.
Right.
Like they were really clean and like put together well and like nerdy at the same time. It was really nice.
All right.
I like well put together nerds. Maybe it's just a product of dealing with magic nerds for so long.
Understandable.
But
Yeah.
I like it whenever they can put a button in a hole and that sort of thing.
I'm sorry that I offend you.
You and your magic cards. Would you at least do me the consideration of not play testing your Magic deck while we're doing the show? Can you just put it away?
No.
It shuffles fine. Just your land is not clumping. I don't know why you keep having these. No. But anyway. Yeah, so Stuart Immonen, and then he did this thing.
Yeah.
Superman's Secret Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've liked his work for a long time, and I know he had a run on Superman for a while, especially like right around the time of like Electric Blue Superman.
Oh yeah.
I think he was writing Android at the same time, and that's sort of when I became a fan of him. And I'm actually not a huge Superman fan. I like Superman,
Right.
but I tend to find that I like Superman in things that aren't comics,
Right. Yeah.
like the movies and then the cartoons and stuff like that. But I've never been a huge fan of the comic version of Superman, except for when it's weird things like this.
Or like It's a Bird.
Or It's a Bird, or
yeah.
All-Star Superman. Just things that don't fit into like the normal Superman continuity.
It's kind of hard to do a good Superman story where it's engaging and like you're like, I wonder if he's gonna go through this. Like,
right.
It's freaking Superman. Of course he's gonna get through it.
Right. So you need a thing to sort of put everything into question, I guess, about Superman, so that you can
Have a different perspective.
Right, yeah. And so like It's a Bird with the Steven Seagal Seagal.
Yeah, not Ponytail.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's basically an autobiographical comic.
Yeah.
But just I like Elseworlds books.
Yeah.
And just weird one-offs. And
this really did feel like an Elseworlds book.
I'm pretty sure it is an Elseworlds.
Oh, really? Does it actually say that in there?
It may not. They may have done away with Elseworlds by this point. Yeah, I think so. But unofficially, it's definitely an Elseworlds book.
Because it's basically set in our world.
Yep.
Where there are Superman comics and toys and games and movies.
Right.
But there's no Superman.
Right.
Or Justice League.
Superman's not real.
Yeah, of course. It's fiction.
Exactly. So this is sort of loosely based off of Superman or Superboy Prime.
Okay.
Who lived on Earth Prime. And he was just, he just happened to be a regular kid who was unfortunately named Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Who just one day manifests Superman's powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's our world. It's the world we live in. It's the world where gutter trash exists.
Wow.
And people don't listen.
I love that world.
You should. You live in it.
Oh. We should do an Elseworlds comic where we're really successful and liked by many.
That is too fantastical.
that would be the thing that caused them to be like, well, we're just never doing Elseworlds as a line is canceled. We tried that and it was just too fucking crazy.
There is only so far that you can suspend disbelief.
You're like, Da Vinci was Batman? Sure, that could happen. These guys popular and liked. Out of here.
Yeah.
So I pretty much enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it way more than I think I should, because there are a few things about this book that fall into categories of things I just don't like.
Okay.
One being art like this. I usually do not like art like this in comics because it's super realistic.
Right.
But for some reason, maybe it's because it's set in our world and it has like a tinge of just reality and Superman comics and all that. I think it does work, and he does it so well that it's not just tracings of photographs. It has there's some stylistic choices that kind of give it a look, but it is very photorealistic in a lot of places though, and that usually just bugs the shit out of me when I read a comic.
It is, and I think the reason that I like this better than say Alex Ross or Greg Land or anything like that, is that it's not obvious. I mean, clearly he's using reference,
Right.
but, it doesn't exactly look traced, or it doesn't look exactly...
There's a few things I think are traced.
There might be, but I think using the style that he uses in this book, I think that there's enough artistic flair to it that separates it from looking super, super realistic.
Yeah, like every line is not connected. Like sometimes I don't know if who did the color, if it was him or another one, but like sometimes the colorist fills in gaps where there isn't like an outline on certain things, and like it gives it a unique look that
he colored it himself.
Did he? Okay.
I think, I don't know. To me, like it reminds me, like it's definitely his own style, and I think he's a genius, Stuart Immonen. And he's definitely been a guy who can change up his style for pretty much any project that he works on. And, something that's super realistic like this to, super cartoony like Next Wave.
Right.
Or just that sort of in-between stuff that he's doing, like with, All New X-Men or stuff like that. And then, of course, like Moving Pictures, which we reviewed, a while back. Which was like almost completely different from any of those.
Yeah, his style changes, and he's good at all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super impressive.
Yeah. So, obviously there's reference being used in this, and, I think it definitely fits the story.
Exactly.
It's got enough of his thing that makes him Stuart Immonen. That, makes the artwork.
I would agree with you that he's very talented, and he makes really good artistic choices, because usually I would love to see everything just look like a cartoon. I wish James Kachaka drew everything that was printed. but at the same time, it really does serve the story, and it works, and it was a good choice. But as far as just like my personal tastes, this is my least favorite style I've ever seen him work in.
Right.
But like I said, it works.
It wouldn't have worked in any other style, I don't think.
Right.
Just because of the nature of the story. Mm-hmm. Seeing him draw, this, and like how he draws X-Men or Next Wave or Moving Pictures even.
Right.
It
would
have been a mark against the story.
I think you're right. Yeah. Which is weird. I mean, it just surprised me because when I first saw it, like even the covers, like, because they're just illustrations and they're not, I didn't know what the story was about. I honestly didn't know it was about this. I thought it was just a Superman story.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to slog my way. Like for some reason, like Alex Ross is the only one I actually like who does that sort of really realistic characters, referenced stuff. But I really did not expect to enjoy the artwork. But after a few pages, I started, it settled into the tone of the story, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
I see it's gonna work. So
what else did you hate about this?
I don't know if I hated anything else about it, but I'll admit I got a little pissed off whenever, like, because you start the story out and and you're like, oh, okay, this kid's name is Clark Kent and he hates being joked about it at school, and like all of his relatives buy him Superman stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I can get behind this. And then honestly, when he developed superpowers, it just kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was like, really? Like, it's not a coincidence enough that he looks like Superman and that his name's Clark Kent, but he's also just happens to be the only person that gets superpowers. Like, I was disappointed whenever I got to that point in the story, but it really does rectify itself and it works. And I had no problem with it once I got, like halfway through the series. But that
seems like a while.
Well, it wasn't as long as you would think. It took me a lot less time to get halfway through the series than it should have, because for some reason, because this is 4 issues, like you have the 4 issues, I had them in a stack, and for some reason, I had them stacked in such a way that I had number 3 right under number 1, and so I read number 3 right after I read number 1, and like, I swear I didn't I didn't miss a beat. Like, I was just like, okay, this is the second issue. And I put it down, and I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and read another one. I've got, another half an hour.
Yeah.
And I picked up the next one, and I looked, and it said number 2 at the bottom, and I was like, oh, I must have just set that in the wrong file. And I looked inside of number 3. I picked up number 3, and I was like, wait a minute. I've already read this. What? And I looked back, and I was like, oh, so, yeah, I read number 1, and then 3, and then 2, and then 4. And it's weird because I went back and I read number 2 right after I read number 3, and honestly, number 2 is completely unnecessary because everything that is important that happens in it, they like mention in the very early parts of number 3, and I didn't feel lost at all. Like, how sometimes, if you just
miss a chapter.
Yeah, but no, like there wasn't a single beat that felt out of place in number 3. It was really weird. Because number 3 because every issue starts out like, it jumps a little bit in time.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they're jumping a little bit in time, but it just jumped a little further than it should have for me, I guess. But
I'm trying to flip through this here a little bit.
Because he already has his lady, and are we spoiling like things about the show?
I think. Well, I'm just trying to think of stuff that. I don't think issue 2 is unnecessary. I really don't.
Really?
Because, all right. I mean, the gist of the story is that it's our world, and this kid who just coincidentally is named Clark Kent gets superpowers.
Oh, he's from Kansas, by the way.
And he's from Kansas, yeah.
That's
But,
small farm town in Kansas.
Right, but, I don't think you can get too upset about that. I mean,
Right.
it's a Superman story.
No, I did, though.
It's not like, it's not like this book is about, some kid named Joe Smith who lives in, Cleveland, Ohio, and then suddenly gets Superman powers, and it's not titled Superman at all.
Right.
Right on the cover, there's a big fucking Superman logo.
Right.
And it's published by DC Comics.
Those are both clues that you're going to read a Superman story.
Right. With written and drawn by 2 guys who have an extensive history working on Superman books.
Yeah. I think I expect it to be more about just somebody living in the world of Superman somehow, and I was like, I wonder how they're going to make this interesting, and maybe they couldn't have. Maybe that's why they didn't. But I was disappointed whenever
And that's one thing that, like I said, I love an Elseworlds story.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about the Elseworlds thing is that every single one of them always ends with the status quo.
Okay. You mean like
Like
they reset it back to
what
you
it's
would
like like I think even one of the first Elseworld books was the book where Clark's ship lands in Gotham City and he gets adopted by the Waynes.
Oh yeah,
Speeding Bullets.
Yeah,
and so then the Waynes get killed and it's he's Batman, but he's got powers like Superman, and so then the entire book goes through, and then at the end he decides to stop being Batman but becomes Superman instead.
Oh.
And he
Right.
changes his name and goes to journalism school.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Wonka Wonka Wonka.
Right, yeah. And so, like, a lot of Elseworlds just always go back to step one again, where Clark Kent becomes Superman as we've always known him.
Right.
And I guess, for the most part, it's, the journey, not the destination.
Right.
That you're supposed to find more enjoyable. And, so,
But yeah, if they slap the Elseworlds logo on there, why bother? Why do they bother returning it to the status quo? Why don't they just?
Well, because it's still it's not in continuity.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, if it's not in continuity, they could end it however they want.
Yeah. It makes very little sense to me, but
Right.
It's a formula that I found that they always seem to do.
Right.
Maybe it's just one of those things where well, you can't have a Superman story if he's not always Superman.
Right. It's comes down from on high.
Right.
They're ordered to do it that way.
But yeah, so just flipping through issue 2, I think, because for the most part, and here's where my sort of thing that I have against this book is, and it's a very minor thing, I think, is that there's a subplot that runs through like all of the issues in which like the government is after him,
Right.
and they're trying to capture him or kill him or whatever, and then they eventually work with him, and let him use his powers the way he wants to, which is to help people because he's Superman.
Right.
I think that plot is kind of forced.
Yeah.
Because every issue is primarily just a character study. The book is about what would it be like to be Superman in a world where Superman is a widely known fictional character,
Right.
And it just sort of feels like, well, we can't do that without having some sort of thing throughout the entire thing because there's no supervillains.
Right. They have to have some sort of threat.
Right. Yeah. So that part feels a little forced to me, and a little bit unnecessary. But without the second issue, you don't get the growing relationship of him meeting,
Malloy or whatever his name is.
That, or the agent in charge of the government agency, like that has a nice payoff, I think.
Right.
At
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
But no, I was saying that we don't get the meeting and relationship building of Lois,
Right.
who becomes his wife. Without that second issue, and then we also don't get him getting captured by the government,
Right.
and like him fully realizing that this threat exists and are dangerous to him.
And I mean, and I'll say, like, after reading the second one, I'm glad I did. Like, and like, I thought there was, useful story elements in it, and
Right.
it maybe like made the story better. But like, it was weird though because I mean, it jumps right into number 3, and for me, and he references right away his past dealings with the government, how they tried to trick him.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then like, and I was waiting for Lois to come around because everything else was coming into place.
Right.
And so like, he already has this relationship with Lois, and I was like, okay, duh. So like, I felt like I didn't need to know that, but once I did read the backstory as you were supposed to, it made sense, and it like, padded things out a little bit. But for me, I mean, I don't mean like, when I say unnecessary, I don't mean like it should never exist, but there was no problem with reading number 3 without having read number 2, which I thought was just strange.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that I was like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? Like, not one time in the single book. Like, it was just weird. I mean, you think like, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess because I've read this like 3 or 4 times prior, I am, maybe more attached to it than you are.
Right.
But like, I could not imagine jumping from 1 to 3 and him already being married and a published author and all that just from being a teenager.
Yeah.
At the end of the first, and not wondering how the hell he got there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the book does chronicle every like major sort of milestone in his life.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, and I recommend, if you're reading it, not doing it the wrong way like I did, but
this is almost as bad as the time that you refused to read Evil Ed.
no, this was no fault of my own. This was just a bad placement of issues in my pile. But yeah, no, number 2 was good and enjoyable. It was just I just found it odd that it worked for me that way.
No.
But then
So basically what you're saying is Kurt Busiek is an awful writer.
yeah, basically.
No, well, you're not saying that.
No, not
You're just
at all.
saying you hated this book.
No, I enjoyed the book, but and again, like when Lois appeared, I'm like, of course he's, from Kansas and his name's Clark Kent and he has Superman powers and he's dating Lois. But and that makes sense in a Superman book, but it was just kind of hard to swallow sometimes because they were trying to say this is happening in our world, and they acknowledge the coincidences, like because people would poke fun at
Right.
Lois and Clark, and And like, it almost seemed like every time they mentioned it in the story, it just drew attention to how absurd it is, you know?
Right.
And like, that was another thing that, like, tripped me up a little bit, but not enough to ruin it or anything. But I don't know. I don't know that it wouldn't have been better if, you know, their names weren't Lois and Clark and he was maybe from Jersey or something, you know?
Right. But again, Superman's in the title.
Right.
It is, you know, I don't understand why it was such a surprise to you that he becomes Superman and that all the coincidences fall into place.
I just thought they were telling a story about just a regular dude and somehow we're tying it into Superman, but I don't know. It was good though. It was very good. It was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Because I like, after the first issue, I didn't expect to like it very much.
I'm sorry I ruined your life.
No,
Forcing you to read this.
and I really do like. I think the fourth issue is my favorite because it does kind of go off in its own direction.
Yeah.
Like the direction that Lois and Clark take together and the choices they have to make for themselves and their families, and
Right.
like I thought that was a really like
See, I think without all of it, like, you don't get to there because Superman doesn't end.
oh yeah,
You know,
it just goes on.
right? Yeah, I mean, you know, DC can reboot, you know, their entire continuity as many times as they want,
Yeah,
but you know, it's always going to be, you know, Clark Kent crash lands on Krypton and moves to Metropolis and becomes Superman and fights Lex Luthor over and over and over again for another however long the print industry will, you know, survive.
like 6 more years.
At least. Maybe 3. And so with a book like this, like just the fact that he ages between
Yeah,
issues 2 to 3 to 3 to 4.
and 3 to 2.
Yeah, or whatever order you read them in. You know, I mean, that already makes it a different thing
Right.
that you know, is going to take its own path, because Superman doesn't age and, you know, he doesn't get old.
And weaker. Like,
Or
yeah.
weaker, or, you know, he doesn't stay married magically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or, you know, and then there were, like, you know, little cute things here and there, like how he tries to experiment with his powers and it doesn't exactly work
Right.
the same way it does in the comics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, so I think that's what I find more enjoyable about, you know, this than maybe you did. I don't know.
And well, I know. I mean, those are the elements I did enjoy about it. Like they did make it an interesting Superman because, you know, he does get weaker and he does get old, and like that's why Superman generally sucks in the comics, because you're like, oh, here's this guy that can do anything forever and he's awesome and nothing's ever imperfect about him, and
Well, I think for me,
other than his haircut in the 90s.
well, yeah. Speaking of which, I was just complete off tangent. I was going through. I was trying to find if there was any movies or TV shows that were disappearing off Netflix, like, shortly.
Uh-huh.
And I found that there was a documentary back in 2001 called American Mullet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. About Superman?
No,
Oh.
just about mullets.
Wow.
Yeah, because you mentioned Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if in Funeral for a Friend, did they have someone cut his hair when he died? You know, like your mom had to do to the...
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Like, get rid of the mullet. Come on.
Well, he had the mullet when he came back.
Oh, he didn't have it when he died?
No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's right. I was thinking he had it when he died, too.
No, yeah, no. He had he was clean cut.
Okay.
And like a human being when he died.
And then he was the subpar mess that...
When he came back, yeah.
Yeah.
He became a fucking piece of white trash when he came back from the dead. Because, I mean, honestly, I guess, if you died and came back, I guess, wouldn't you just stop giving a shit?
Oh, yeah, I would just drink canned beer
Yep.
and, like, at noon, yeah, and go to the horse races, and, yeah. Listen to Def Lepp, yeah. And I still listen to... I was listening to Def Leppard earlier today, actually. Man, Pour Some Sugar on Me is a great tune.
Anyway. Anyway.
But yeah, I think the fourth issue really did bring it back around to something that I was like, okay, you know, they're really making it its own thing, and like I can get over all the nods, and like it really did not like ruin it for me. It just like gave me like a raised eyebrow as each one came up, but it didn't ruin it or anything. So,
Right.
it's
not like he had a bald best friend who suddenly became his arch nemesis or anything.
No.
You know what I mean,
there was a Jimmy Olsen at his paper. I mean, there was like all of them. You know, I think they even.
I don't think there was a Jimmy Olsen in his
Well,
paper.
there was a red-haired dude. I don't know. I don't think they even called him Jimmy, but he says something, and I was like, "Oh, there's Jimmy, of course." And again, I know it's Superman, but they were just trying to make it not Superman, but still Superman at the same time. And
Yeah. And it's not like his wife's name was Lois Lane. It was Lois something unpronounceable.
Yeah, she's an Indian lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget her name, but
It was Lois.
yeah, Lois.
Is it that because the fourth issue I think jumps forward in time a couple different places?
Yeah.
And it spans like the most amount of years rather than like issue 1 is about him being, you know, like 16 years old, and then issue 2 is about him being like 22, and issue 3 is about him being like, you know, maybe near 40 or something like that.
Right.
Then issue 5 is like him like 50 through 80 almost.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So is that a possible reason why
It worked
you
better.
liked it? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Just that there were more jumps in time, and then you know, was maybe a little more quicker paced.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if that factored or not. But I mean, whatever the reason, I thought the fourth one really was my favorite issue. I think a lot of it was to do with, like I said, I don't know if we want to spoil all the characters that appear, but like the stuff with their family and their kids.
Right.
Like I really liked the stuff they did with that. And yeah, I mean, it almost like the stuff with like Lois, like whenever, you know, Superman goes away and she's at home reading the paper or whatever, it reminded me a lot of Invincible too, like the early Invincibles where, you know, before,
Omni-Man.
yeah, well, like whenever he's like out fighting, an extra dimensional terrorist or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's just like, it reminded me a lot of those scenes too, which is, you know, what I like about Invincible. And so, yeah, it had a lot of cool storytelling elements in it.
Right.
That, you know, stuff you don't see a whole lot in superhero books.
So it sounds almost like you would have liked this better. And again, you say you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. But
it sounds like maybe you would have liked it better had there been either less of the real world stuff or less of the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Like either or.
Yeah, right, yeah. And James Kachalkadron.
Right.
Or just Stuart Immonen drawn in a James Kachalka style, because he can clearly do whatever. He's a master.
Apparently he draws standing up. I do know that much about him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is
Why
very
would
weird.
you draw standing up?
I don't know.
Like at a canvas style thing?
No, like at a drawing table.
Really?
It's just high enough for him to stand at.
Man.
That seems insane to me.
Like it would hurt.
Yeah,
Like he couldn't do it for 8 hours.
right. You would imagine.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, but yeah, I saw a picture of him online standing at his table drawing.
Huh.
Like it's bizarre to me, anyway.
Maybe he can't afford a chair. Somebody, well, let's have a Kickstarter for Stuart Immonen's first office chair.
I think everybody just needs to go out and buy moving pictures
Yeah.
or any of his other creator-owned books.
Right. I wonder if he gets any money from, like, DC's re-releasing Secret Identity as a trade.
I'm sure.
He gets residuals from that. Yeah.
Probably, right?
I would hope
I
so.
would hope so as well.
That's something else to ask him right after I find out where his family lineage began. Like, where are you from, and are you still making any money? I hope these questions aren't too personal.
I think maybe
What's
you
your wife like in bed? No, that's terrible.
I think, well, other than the asking what his wife is like in bed, I think maybe instead of if he's still making money, you should just ask how much money he makes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
How much you pulling down this year, Stu?
Yeah. Can I call you Stu? I would never ask any of those questions because I respect him. He's a good guy.
He is.
And his lovely wife is as well, and I didn't mean to make any tawdry remarks about her.
I've not met either of them, but I am fans of both of their work.
Mm-hmm.
And, I will continue to follow them as much as possible.
This is our second Imanen review then?
Because we did so.
And then our third Superman, probably.
Third.
Did we do It's a Bird? Did we do that one?
No.
Oh, we didn't?
Yeah.
Did you just loan that to me once?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Usually when you loan me a book, it's because I have to read it.
Right. I think that was prior to the show existing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's forever ago.
I know.
That was 200... That could have been our 0 issue. We could go back and re-record that. A year in, like DC did put the zeros.
We can do negative episodes.
Oh yeah.
We'll review It's a Bird and then Blankets.
Yeah. Did we do that with Blankets?
You lent me Blankets again, before the show existed.
Wow. We're good to each other.
Yeah.
I think our kid's gonna turn out all right. We still have this love after all these years.
We have not mentioned Kurt Busiek a lot.
Where is he from?
Don't know.
I've never read anything by him or Marvels. Did he do Marvels? Yeah. Okay. I've never read Astro City though. I've never read it.
I read Astro City for a while, and then it was one of those things where it just didn't come out for a very long time, and I just stopped buying it.
Yeah.
And now I don't believe I own any of the issues of it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out as I continue to go through my collection.
Yeah, how far along are you?
Not very. Yeah. Not much from last week.
Okay. I thought you were like half before.
I've still got my entire bedroom and the stray books behind you to go through. So yeah, I've
a little ways to go.
Yeah, there's a ways to go.
But yeah, did you? So you did like Astro City? Though?
I liked Astro City a lot, and I liked Marvels quite a bit, and except for the Earth.
Yeah, so he's kind of leans towards that whole superhero in real life thing because Marvels, Astro City, they all kind of this one.
I don't know if he leans towards it or not, but maybe he got kind of stereotyped by it.
Yeah, okay.
Because Marvels was huge.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's easy to say that that's what made him a star as well as Alex Ross. And so I think there was a lot of things that came after that where, it was like, well, hey, he can do this really well, so let's continue to have him do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, Gary Coleman, 50 years later, people are still asking him to say, what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, except he's dead.
Oh, I know, but I mean, they asked him. I'm sure people
And also, I'm pretty sure that Different Strokes was not on 50 years ago.
Oh, it was.
So I don't know if that's a thing that he prefers to write, but it's a thing that, he is pretty good at.
Right.
Honestly, I can't think of too many other things that I've read by him other than Marvels or Astro City and this.
You said he just did some regular Superman stuff, right?
Yeah, he was on the Superman books for a while. I think the 1 year later era, post,
excuse me,
whatever giant crossover that was after.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Crisis or something.
I don't know. Yeah. Not Final Crisis, I think.
Infinite Identity.
Maybe
Regular.
Infinite?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Infinite was the thing.
Infinite Crisis, yeah. Most people do forget about that one.
I remember Identity Crisis because it was dumb. And I remember Final Crisis because it was underrated. And I do not remember Infinite Crisis.
I've never read a Crisis.
I've read most of them.
I read the first issue of Crisis on Infinite Earths and I was like, done. No more Crisis for me.
That might be my next pick.
Oh, that might be my first veto. I would veto the first Crisis.
Really?
I don't know that I would veto any other one, but I would veto because it just gave me a headache trying to read it. I was like, I have to remember how many names, and we're only 4 pages in. There's 50 characters. And I was like, I don't even know. It wasn't like Superman and Aquaman. It was Lightning Lass and all these Gold Bug and things I've never heard. I think it's a Transformer actually, but my point being, it was a little too much. Maybe I'll just read the first one and then go skip ahead.
I don't know. I've read it once exactly. I bought the super expensive slipcovered hardcover thing that came out in like 1998, 99, something like that.
Nice.
That they said they would never reprint, and then they went ahead and put out trade paperback after trade paperback of it.
But they've never reprinted the hardcover. Maybe that's what they're saying.
I think it's an absolute edition somewhere now, isn't it?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Either way, there were cheaper versions of it out there. That's happened after I paid $100 for it.
Ooh. But you're not bitter.
Nah.
No.
Hey, at least I got George Perez to sign it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Last September.
Wow.
This past September. Anyway. Of course, at this point in time, I could give a shit about any crossovers or massive events.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are terrible.
Weren't you reading the Genesis books? The Kirby books from Dynamite?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Kurt Busiek read those?
I believe he did.
There you go.
I believe he did.
So you have read a
Okay.
Kurt Busiek book.
Good for you, Kurt Busiek. You're so good that I didn't even realize I was reading you. You're like, I can't believe it's not Busiek.
Yeah, I mean, I like him in general. I just, I don't seek him out,
Yeah.
but, I don't have anything against him. And obviously, I think like things like this is something that I would lean towards more than him working on, just, a regular run on any, particular character.
Right.
I'd much rather read something out of continuity and with his own sort of take on something.
Yeah, he seems like an actual, like, just decent writer.
Right.
But he's kind of, like, found his niche.
Niche.
He's just kind of doing this thing. But I would like to see him do something completely different. Like, not just a standard superhero book, but, like, something like a horror story or, like, a slice of life story or something like that.
I have read an autobiographical thing that he did.
Oh, yeah.
It was published through, it's a digital only kind of thing. There's a digital publisher called Monkey Brain, I believe is the name of it. They publish like a handful of books, and he had just a one-shot that was just about him walking his dog during a winter morning and thinking about, his childhood and, his family and stuff like that.
That's the kind of shit I like.
And yeah, you would probably really enjoy it if you knew how to operate a computer or some sort of...
I know there's a lever somewhere you spin really fast and then it makes a noise and like...
But no, yeah, it's really good. I think it's just called like Thoughts on a Winter Morning or something like that.
Right.
So if you ever
I'll
feel like
Google
spending 99 cents and
What?
reading something on a computer screen, you can go get it. Yeah. Or if you're a modern day person, you can get it on Comixology.
Oh yeah, okay. I am a happening modern cat.
No, you're not.
No, not at all.
Well, I'm sorry that you didn't love this book as much as I did.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
But you liked it.
I liked it. Oh yeah. Did not love it, but I liked it.
Yeah. I wish Joe was here.
Yeah. I always wish Joe was here. Joe's a good guy.
We should have him on again at some point.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't mean just on the show. I just mean in general. I'll be walking the dog and I'll be like, I wish Joe was here.
Yeah.
He's just a nice guy to have around.
He is a nice guy to have around. Yeah. You know what? You're right. I kind of wish Joe was just around all the time.
Like, what if he was our imaginary friend?
That would be, well, he kind of is.
Yeah. I'm imagining him right now. Are you imagining him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're imagining him. He's our imaginary friend.
So anyway, buy this trade paperback whenever it comes out again.
We ordered a copy at Mavericks.
There you
so
go.
There'll be one on the shelf.
Yeah. Because it's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a little different if you like Superman, but you're fucking bored with Superman comics.
Right. And I think the problem with Superman is that, like, I don't think it's that, it's because he's invincible or whatever, the normal bullshit answers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just bad writing.
I mean, to a point, but I mean, that does make a character a little more...
A little bit, yeah.
Like, I mean, if you don't expect any flaws, that's what makes characters like Indiana Jones so interesting, because he's
Right.
gonna have some pitfalls and things that...
Right. Some kerfuffles will happen.
Yeah, kerfuffles here and there.
Yeah, to a point, I do believe so. But I also think that there's a thing that may just be a corporate thing that, you can't have, that character that represents that entire company.
Right.
You
They're a little more careful with him.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that may hinder some stories here and there, but there are good Superman stories out there. They're just,
few and far between.
yeah. I'd say... I would say you're not going to find it in a regular run of Superman comics.
Right.
You're going to find it in one-offs and specials. And
like Red Sun and things
and
like that.
Elseworlds and stuff like that. But even the regular runs can have, their gems here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, just due to the nature of the character, and I think due to the nature of the industry where everything has to be a massive storyline or tie into something that,
Right.
we're going to get even less of those nowadays.
He's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna. Yeah, they're really careful because he represents not just the character that he is, but the company that publishes him.
Right.
So,
Which is a little bit of a shame, but we still can get a Secret Identity or an All-Star Superman out of it occasionally.
Right.
And that's good.
Lucky for us.
Yeah, but again, at the same time though, like I said, I like him in the movies, I like him in cartoons.
Right.
So, but those have got to have the same rules.
That is weird, though. I know what you mean, though. Like, maybe there's something a little more humanizing about, hearing his voice and seeing him move around or something.
Maybe,
I don't know. But, yeah, I would much rather watch just a run-of-the-mill Superman cartoon than read a run-of-the-mill Superman comic.
Right, yeah.
So that is
and
weird.
we watched some really bad Superman cartoons like a year ago.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And, I think I even like those better than, especially the current run of Superman books.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Something for the scholars of the next century to figure out.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break.
Yeah, stretch our legs.
Yeah.
So you think you're in the middle of the ocean, stranded on an island of your own, stuck at the top of a mountain. Either way you're gonna say you're all alone. And I hesitate to say that you're a liar. I never tell the truth myself, but I tried to chase you down and I got tired. So I'm leaving you to you or someone else, 'cause you never wanna hook up in the middle. And I'd meet you there to talk if you would show, but you answer every question with a riddle, and refuse to even choose to let me go. It used to be I'd tell you all my secrets, giving you the credit you deserve. I guess you didn't care to lose or keep it, and we never quite connected from the first. And I wish I had a way to make it better, to rearrange the world and make me smile. But it's dumb to even think I had that power, and we haven't been that close in a while. Try to name it, explain it for the one who couldn't care. 'Cause all that matters is the way you choose to frame it. And I hesitate to say that you're a liar. I never tell the truth myself, but I tried to chase you down and I got tired. So I'm leaving you to you or someone else, 'cause you never wanna hook up in the middle. And I'd meet you there to talk if you would show, but you answer every question with a riddle, and refuse to even choose to let me go.
Hey, it's gutter trash.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. How's it going, buddy?
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's it's been going.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it going with you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We had a good week at Mavericks.
Did you?
A lot of sales across the board. Comics, sports cards, and magic cards. All of them. They all did well.
So when I walked in twice this past week, you were working hard in the comic section.
It was awesome. Oh my gosh. It's great. Yeah. I love being back in the comics.
Yeah.
You know? It's like this.
That's why you work there.
It's like a Shangri-La. I mean, like, you know, it's there's customers back there, but they're all just doing their thing. They're just like, oh, here's this thing I want. And they pick it up and, you know, read it, and buy it, whatever. But, yeah, it's so nice. I love it. I love working at a comic shop. I wish I always did.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Nothing too exciting. My lady friend's been not feeling well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So is my mom and my doogie.
I'm sorry to hear that.
The world's falling apart. Yeah.
I hope you did not bring whatever it is that they're carrying or you're carrying.
You know what's weird?
House.
I feel great, which is weird.
If I get sick, I'm punching you because I've already been sick once.
Me too.
I am done with it.
I was bad off, like in, I guess it was November, but yeah, I'm done with being sick this winter. Yeah. So, yeah, how about you?
Wow, this has been a very stressful week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but if I have, I apologize. But so my mom had surgery this past week. Major surgery, in which they cut open her neck and replaced a vertebrae in her in her spine.
That sounds really serious.
Yeah. It's not what you would call a quickie surgery or anything like that. It's not an outpatient thing.
Right. Yeah.
So that happened Tuesday, and I took off work for that. Because she's had a herniated disc in her neck for a long time, and like in the past month and a half or so, it just got to the point where she was in so much pain that she couldn't lift her arms.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So she finally decided that if she wanted to continue to work, that she would have to have this surgery done. And so then they told her that one of the possible side effects of having the surgery was that she was possibly going to lose her voice forever.
Wow.
And not be able to speak anymore.
Wow.
So there was that possibility, and she still went ahead and went through with it. But she woke up from after the surgery, and she could speak.
That's awesome.
And so Tuesday, my dad and I spent the entire day at the hospital with her. And then she was, under anesthetic and just out of it and all that. And we had to get up at like 4 a.m, Tuesday morning to take her there. And so it was a very long day. And then Thursday, I took off work to take care of her while my dad went back to work. But she was pretty much fine by then.
That's awesome.
She's walking around, and she can talk, and she's moving on her own. She's taken one pain pill exactly since coming back from the surgery.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, she's just bored.
But there's like a length of time where even if she feels good, she's not allowed back to work, right?
No, yeah, she is out of work until at least April or May.
Okay.
She's got to wear the brace for at least 10 weeks. She's got like this brace around her neck that she has to wear if she wants to move around. And then she has to like ice her neck for a half hour every hour.
Wow.
And then she has another brace that she has to wear for 4 hours a day that she cannot wear around anyone that has a pacemaker or landlines.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, I don't know, I think that one's a scam. But, because it's like magnets or something.
Right.
And anything that the Insane Clown Posse finds fascinating, I just assume it's a scam.
Even Fago?
Okay, I like Fago.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get Fago anymore, can you?
I don't know.
No. You used to be able to get it across the street at the grocery store there.
I know in heaven you can.
I know when I was a kid, my mom used to drink a lot of Fago, so we always had it around the house.
I think I only ever tried it one time. It was at Meyer when I was like a teenager.
Well, you're not much of a pop drinker.
I'm not a
anyway.
soda fan, yeah.
So anyway, so that's sort of been what my week has been.
So you're kind of on call with her.
I
kinda.
am. Yeah, I went over there Saturday morning so my dad could go to work, and
Mhm.
yeah, like I said, she's mostly just bored. So like she sent me out to the video store to rent a bunch of movies,
Right.
and then I guess my dad decided that he's going to try to go to work Monday, and I'm not taking any more days off because I've only got like 2 vacation days left, so I don't want to waste them, automatically. So
Right.
we're going to leave her alone on Monday and see what happens. But like I said, she seems to be fine, and she's got like 4 movies to watch, between now and then. So
Right. You hooked her up.
yeah, she wanted me to get the new James Bond movie, which just came out, so I got that. And Flight, the movie with Denzel Washington and John Goodman. And then I picked up like a bunch of movies that she knew that my dad wouldn't want to watch. So she can watch those when he's at work or whatever.
What is she like that your dad doesn't? Because she's kind of got a diverse...
My mom will watch anything, pretty
Yeah.
much, except for... Well, here's the thing. Like, she used to love horror movies, but she won't watch them now. But she likes comedies and romantic comedies and cartoons and
right.
action movies and stuff like that. My dad only wants to watch things that are serious.
Yeah, like drama, Oscar-winning kind of stuff.
Not even that. Just like he wants an action movie, but he wants it to be a believable action movie.
Okay, like not a fun.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like G.I. Joe. But
No. Yeah. He wants. I can't even think of one.
like The Town or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But even something like that, he would come around and say, like, it was just ridiculous. Like, this happened. Like,
Right.
why would they do that? This is such a cartoon. He's
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. He calls things cartoons.
yep. He is. He's kind of like Jack with the balloon art,
Mm-hmm.
only about movies.
He likes it believable.
Yeah. So they watched Flight last night and Skyfall today, and while he was at work, she and I watched a movie called The Watch, which was bad. It's comedy.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Ben Stiller
Ben
one.
Stiller,
You-
Vince Vaughn,
okay.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
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 But no, the other stressful thing is that I had the cops called on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's about time. This is news to me. I don't know what this is about.
Yeah. So Thursday, I went to my parents' house to take care of my mom, and my dad wanted me over there by 8 o'clock so that he could go to work. Which, is like 2 hours later than I usually leave for work.
Right.
Well, when on my normal days. So it was about 7:45 or so. I was out by the side street by my apartments, about to make a left turn onto the major street
Right.
that runs east and west. So I'm sitting there at the red light, and I see a woman and 2 kids go up to the side of the sidewalk to stand at the crosswalk. And the woman is just on her phone, just texting or doing whatever,
Right.
and not paying attention to her kids. So the light turns green, and there is no through traffic coming, and they are still on the sidewalk, so I made a left turn
Right.
and drove to my parents' house, and then spent the day with my mom. And then at around 5 o'clock, my mom's phone rang, or her cell phone, and she comes walking out into the room and says, "Eric, there's the police for you." And so what happened was that the police came here and waited for me at my apartments. My landlord saw them and said, "What's going on?" And they asked if he knew where I was, so he called my mom on her cell phone, who handed it off to me, to get a talking to about almost hitting a kid in the crosswalk as I made that left turn that morning.
What? Really?
Yep. I didn't almost hit a kid.
Yeah.
That kid was nowhere near me.
He was on the sidewalk.
They were just stepping off the sidewalk.
Right.
But apparently, according to the woman who called the cops on me, apparently looked up from her cell phone long enough to get my license number and call the cops to report me. Apparently she said that her kid had to jump back because I almost hit him.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, well, maybe she shouldn't have been stuck on her cell phone and maybe been paying attention to her fucking kids. But also, I'm thinking, okay, so I didn't hit a kid. And then the cop said that I did have the right of way because there was no traffic coming towards me.
Right.
So I didn't hurt anyone and I didn't break any laws.
Right.
Why are you talking to me?
Yeah. Did you ask him that?
No.
Oh,
But
man.
it was going through my mind, just like,
So
a real criminal.
So what did he end up saying? Like, he's like, I know you didn't do this for, like you didn't break any laws.
He kept asking me, he was like, did you see a family there on the sidewalk? I was like, I saw them, yeah. And he was like, and you didn't see them running through the crosswalk? I was like, they weren't running through the crosswalk. Like maybe they had just stepped off the crosswalk by the time I started making the turn.
Right.
Yeah. He was like, well, just, nothing's going to happen, and you did have the right of way, so just next time you better, take a second look, and, we don't want anything worse to happen than what happened today. You mean nothing?
Right. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So then, I got off the phone with that, and then I was pissed. I was fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I would be, and I don't get pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, with my parents, and my dad is like, "Are you still stewing about this?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, get over it." I was like, "But someone called the cops on me
Yeah.
for nothing that I did wrong."
Yeah. Is that your first time anyone's ever called cops on you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, man.
Like,
Didn't
I've had the cops here before, but it was for the old neighbors.
Right. Well, don't they and then they have, like, cameras of your parking lot and everything? Like, they wanted to...
No,
Oh, okay.
it wasn't in my parking lot.
Well, I mean, I thought it might, like, catch the street a little bit, too.
No, there's no
Okay.
cameras.
Okay.
There are cameras in my parking lot, and they basically covered the dumpster,
Right. Okay.
which is nowhere near where I was.
Right. Yeah. Man, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I was fucking furious.
So now here's the scenario. What
Alright.
if you see those like, same exact family out there again?
Oh, then I guess I'll just sit at the green light and let them slowly pass or run past or whatever, and then give them the finger as they do.
I'm proud of you. I thought you might have ran over them. Okay.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
I know, yeah.
I don't want to have violent retribution against anyone. Man, I was fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, I would be. Yeah.
And I wanted to bitch about this so much, but I figured, I honestly figured, well, you were wrong because you kids,
Yeah.
but, I don't know. So you're like the second person I've told about this, and then both of you have been on my side.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, like if they were like halfway through like if they were like stepping into your, the lane or something. But yeah,
They're not.
yeah, that's bad.
So yeah, that's
Well,
been my week.
Well, I'm glad. Hopefully, it's like a upswing from here.
I hope so. And then I've been watching a bunch of movies.
I watched part of Meatballs today. Well,
It's because we mentioned it yesterday.
No, I think we mentioned it yesterday, or did I mention it yesterday, or did you? I can't.
I was telling you about watching a movie with my mom, and you're like, was it Meatballs?
Yeah, okay. Well, because I had got it from the library, and like I've had it for like a week, and I was like, oh, it's due back tomorrow. So me and Doogie were watching it while we ate breakfast, and there's like I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. I saw it when I was like 11 or something, you know.
Never seen it.
It's Bill Murray's first movie. It's like a 1979 comedy.
About a camp.
Yeah, but camps were big in the 80s or early 80s. But there is a creepy scene in that movie that I did not remember. Like, apparently, maybe it was funny to rape people in the 80s, but
Hilarious.
there's a scene where Bill Murray's a camp counselor, and he like walks into this room, and there's this female camp counselor, and they're like going over like some ideas, like things they can do in like meetings and whatever. And he just starts like flirting with her really heavily, and she's like, no, stop it, we're trying to do this. And then he's like just jumping all over her, and like she's like ducking out of the way, and he's like running into the walls, like trying to tackle her, and at one point he like bites her ass and like gets on top of her, and like she's screaming no, and then he's like, oh, come on, and then like another camp counselor happens to walk in, and he hops up and she runs out of the room, and it's like just a comedy. It, like Bill Murray like plays it off, and it's like in a funny voice, and like end scene,
right.
And it's like comedy. But I was like, he was raping that lady.
Attempted.
Yeah,
not actually raping her.
He deserves a phone call from the police.
Yeah, oh yeah. Probably didn't get one, did he?
No, well, it was the 80s. You were allowed to do any of that.
Rape was hilarious.
Isn't that weird? That's so crazy. I mean, eventually, like later on in the movie, they like they're dating. So apparently,
Right.
I don't know if I didn't watch the whole movie, so I don't know if.
Well, he raped her into love.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
he either the lesson was be persistent, and even if she's no means yes. It was either that or like maybe they were dating and she just didn't want to like do anything at that moment, and
Right.
and like she was just. But I don't know. It was so off-putting. I was like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
Sorry.
Yeah. I feel like I watched another movie, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, we watched The Man with Iron Fists.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
That was fun. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it was enjoyable.
It's a really fun movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Movie written and directed by RZA. He's from the Wu-Tang Clan, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he's kind of stars in the movie too. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not in the whole movie, but he's the main character.
He's the main character, but doesn't even really come into play until like the last
Right.
30 minutes of the movie or
Yeah,
so.
he's kind of like a side character, and that becomes like
The main character,
Right.
yeah.
because he's kind of narrating it.
Right,
and
right.
Then, and then like
It's all from his point of view.
right,
Which, honestly, like, I mean, because he's not an actor.
right.
You know,
That's a smart move.
It's a smart
too.
move, yeah. It allows him to be the main character without being the main character.
Without having so much heavy screen time.
Right. We leave the important things to people like Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Russell Crowe was great in that movie, and I usually do not. I'm not a fan of Russell Crowe.
I could do without him.
Yeah, me too. Like usually, like it's to the point I don't hate him, but it's to the point where if I'm not sure if I want to see a movie, but I realize he's in it, I just look for something different at the
Okay.
library because I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. But it was a fun movie, and I bet it's one of those things that the more kung fu movies you've seen, the better it is.
Right.
Which for me, like I've never been a huge kung fu movie fan. I've seen maybe at the most a half dozen in my life.
Right.
Probably less than half dozen, but
I've definitely seen less than half a dozen.
yeah, I just never really like Kathleen. Kathleen is all about the kung fu movies. And,
I like the idea of kung fu movies more than I actually like kung fu movies.
well, yeah, I have no nostalgia for them because
Yeah.
I think the first time I ever saw one, I was like 18 or 19, and I guess that's young, but I didn't grow up loving them,
Right.
So I don't know, I never really got into them, but yeah, it was a really fun movie, and I'm sure like Jeremy that is hopefully is listening, I'm sure he would love it,
Right.
because not only does he love the Wu-Tang Clan, but he loves kung fu movies,
Right.
So I'm sure he's already seen it.
I think for me, I like a modern day kung fu movie because it takes, the things that are good about the old ones that people do have nostalgia for,
Right.
but combines them with modern day,
Yeah.
filmmaking, technology and growth and evolution and all that,
Right.
and also allows them to add, something that maybe the old kind of stuff was missing.
Like Bird People.
Right. That was ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully sets up a sequel.
Even if it doesn't, it was amazing. But,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think I would like the sequel better than the original, actually.
But only if Russell Crowe shows back up
Yeah. Yeah.
as Captain Jackknife.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Good for you, Rizza.
Hell yeah. I've watched quite a few movies in the past week. I don't know if I mentioned them on the last show that we did, but I watched 2 movies. VHS
Oh, yeah.
and then a movie called Drones.
What's Drones?
Drones is a comedy, an office, like a workplace comedy,
Okay.
but with aliens.
Yeah.
And it's written by the guys who do a podcast. Well, it's a podcast after the fact, but it's a live show that they put on in Los Angeles called The Thrilling Adventure Hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a movie that they wrote with a lot of the cast from their rotating shows that they do.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was funny. I enjoyed it a lot.
Are you a little bit friends with them, or
No.
Okay.
I had like a very, very short-lived email exchange with one of the guys.
Okay.
I had done a sketch, and they liked it, and they asked me to do a poster, and then I flaked.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I remember there was something. I was like, I couldn't remember if you actually they commissioned you to do something or what.
Yeah, they asked me to, and I said sure, and then I was me.
Oh.
I'm sure I could still do one, and maybe they would accept it. But,
Oh, yeah, just do something like, hey, you never did get back to me when I sent you that poster. Here's a second copy. Just lie through your teeth.
I'd be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was good. The VHS was an anthology horror movie thing that I watched. That was mostly good.
That's it kind of sounded good. You described it to me when you
Yeah.
watched it, and it sounds really good.
What else did I watch? Felt like I watched a bunch of shit.
I watched Chico and Rita. I told you about that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
The
you told me that.
animated musical. It was good.
I will not see it.
If you like jazz and animation, Chico and Rita are really good. Or Rita and Chico? No, Chico and Rita. I think it's Chico and Rita.
Do a search for Chico
Rita?
Rita,
Yeah, movie.
and it'll
Yeah.
find out. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Watched, like I said, I watched The Watch with my mom, and that was bad. I watched Raging Bull,
Oh, yeah.
which was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may be one of those, the whole Miss Classic thing.
Yeah.
It's just been built up so much.
Right. There's so many references over the years,
Right.
even on cartoons and everything.
Then I watched a movie called The Hole, directed by Joe Dante, who did The Burbs and Gremlins and all sorts of other awesome movies from the mid to late 80s.
Sweet.
And that was pretty good. It's like a family friendly horror movie.
Oh, okay.
like it had a reminiscent to the 80s kind of feel to it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
It was about a hole in these kids' basements that brings their darkest fears to life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Is that like his most recent film then, Joe Dante?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I might check that out.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's fun.
I like fun movies.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of his movies. After you mentioned, I didn't recognize the name, but yeah, obviously Burbs, Gremlins,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Small Soldiers.
I don't know that one.
Nah, I never saw it. But I bet Dick Miller was in it.
Yeah, gotta get that dick.
Yep. Yes. I mean, I feel. Oh yeah, I watched Batman Forever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You went there.
Yeah, and the week prior to that, I watched Batman and Robin.
Wow.
I enjoyed them.
So are you gonna watch like the Tim Burton?
I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam West, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
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 Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the Adam West one in the last couple of months, and still awesome.
I bet it is. Yeah. So then I watched at least every available episode of a show called Raising Hope, which was funny.
Raising Hope.
Yeah.
Is it a kid? Hope.
Yes.
Okay.
A baby. A baby.
Is it like Raising Arizona?
No.
No. Okay.
Though there is a serial killer.
I don't think there was a killer. There was a Randall Tex Cobb, and he was a bounty hunter in Raising Arizona. I don't think there's any killers in Raising Arizona.
Big guy on the motorcycle.
Yeah, he was a bounty hunter. He was a
Oh,
bounty
okay.
hunter. Yeah.
People got killed though.
No,
He got killed.
I think he gets
exploded?
killed. He
Yeah.
gets killed. Spoiler? What if someone hasn't seen that yet?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nah. It's still worth seeing, even if you know he gets
That's true.
exploded.
Yeah. That's a very small part of that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's so many better things.
Oh
that
my
happen in that
gosh!
movie.
What an amazing movie.
I should watch that again.
Yeah. We should Miss Classic.
Huh?
Miss Classic.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's just been a very long time, but
Yeah.
I've only seen it the once.
Wow. Yeah. We should watch that sometime.
Maybe.
Maybe draw night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But I got a different movie that I'm going to pick for my next pick.
Oh. Yeah, we watch movies on here too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't just read comics.
So my next pick, if you're ready for that,
Oh yeah, sure.
is a pick that was suggested to me by our good friend Joe G.
Oh,
who
really?
We have mentioned numerous times already.
Our imaginary friend.
Yeah. It is an old-timey noir.
Awesome. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been too long.
Yeah. It's an old-timey noir called Double Indemnity
Ooh.
with Fred McMurray.
Awesome. I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've wanted to see that ever since I watched Memento. Hopefully this isn't a spoiler, but on the DVD commentary, they were like, "Oh, well, that's one of our, big inspirations or something."
Right.
Like, so there's like twists and blah blah blah.
Right.
But yeah, I've wanted to see it ever since then because it sounded great. I don't remember everything they said about it because that was like a dozen years ago.
Right.
But yeah, that's cool.
Alrighty. Well, that's it.
Double Indemnity.
Double Indemnity.
That name is almost as hard to pronounce as the creators of that Superman book.
Why don't you ask that movie where it came
Where
from?
it came from? Probably Netflix, probably. Yeah. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Good night, peoples.
Good night. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.